Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy P-Lot, aka the Brick Slinger, and guess what? Your boy got something to say. I know there's a lot of things going on right now, and one thing that seemed to be popping up is the whole Dave Chappelle new, excuse me, Dave Chappelle new special called The Closer, which is basically his sixth and last special under Netflix. And already folks are being hysterical, especially within the letter people community. One particular statement that has been highlighted is the baby situation. As far as y'all know, he made a quote unquote homophobic statements on one of his shows, which caused him to be canceled for a minute. However, Dave Chappelle seemingly defended him in a way that only Dave Chappelle known for. He basically said, and I quote, uh, "In this country, you can kill somebody, but you can't hurt a gay person's feelings." Cause he mentioned on his special how the baby like 3 years ago shot and killed somebody, but yet nothing happens to his career. But the minute he said what he said, as as far as the gay comments and stuff, the homophobic comments being brought up, he get canceled. But here's my thing. I've seen the special. Yes, the Brick Slinger saw the special. Excuse me. And it's a classic Dave Chappelle special where he don't just tell jokes just to be telling jokes. He is definitely, especially in this time, literally the greatest comedian. Period. Whether if he's in your top five, top 10 best comedian, you consider him the greatest of all time. I consider him the greatest of all time. But that's not the case of what this video is about. It's about the fact that this man has successfully um, risen to the top, and it comes to the point where he has to be considered a transphobic comedian. He's been considered a gay basher and all that stuff, with especially with this special. And but what's interesting about this particular comedy special wasn't the fact that he said what he said about the baby. The moment that got my attention when he befriended a transgender woman by the name of Daphne, who was a comedian. They had a good friendship to the point where Dave presented Daphne as his opening act. When Sticks and Stone came out and folks wanted to get at Dave, Daphne defended Dave. Unfortunately, he commit Daphne. I don't want to go through all this whole pronoun nonsense. So I'm gonna stick to the name, Daphne. Daphne committed suicide. You could tell by the way Dave looked that it affected him more every time he speaks about this, because these two individuals were friends. Now I know some of y'all probably gonna catch this moment and be like, "Why won't you prefer the Daphne as she trans transgender woman? This she deserved to be known as she and this that and the third." Hey, when it's all said and done, If that person want to go from a man to a woman, unfortunately, that's their right. I don't have to agree with it, and I don't have to go along with it as well. That's my right, not just as a Christian, but as a man, and vice versa. If a woman wants to be a man or even be considered a man, unfortunately, again, that's their right. But it's also my right to avoid the situation because at the end of the day, it's not about going to get bullied. I'm not going to get bullied by the letter people because I refuse to acknowledge a person that want to be considered a transgender anything. You feel what I'm saying? Just like they have the right to want to be that, I have the right to stay as who I am and believe what I want to believe. You don't want that particular situation, it's best to avoid the conversation. But the problem I have, well, side note. So, but the problem I have with this whole situation with the closure, it's nothing against Dave. It's had everything to do with the letter people. It's so easy all of a sudden to be canceled the minute they feel like they offended or they feel like attacked in any shape or form, even when there's not really an attack. There's no attack from Dave against the LGBT community. It's really not. Unfortunately, folks are going to take it as they want to take it. And many people, many groups and organizations are trying to remove the special from Netflix. Not just the GLAAD, but a black organization. Black Justice, I think it's called. If not, correct me. They trying to remove this special because, according to them, it's offensive to the transsexual, the transgenders. Anything that deals with the letter people, it's offensive. But what's so offensive about a comedy special in a high level, the highest level of professionalism and classism, classic? It's like what else can you expect from Dave Chappelle? You can't expect him to just stick to just knock jokes. And the sad part is there is people within the letter people that would rather scream out and say, Dave Chappelle, shut up and tell jokes. And not just any jokes, but just simple jokes. Jokes that avoid. But the problem is comedians throughout the past 30 years, even 40, maybe longer than that, has always managed to push the envelope to give people a chance to just laugh. And all of a sudden, this situation comes up because I know people gonna be like, well, he ain't gonna disrespect the white folks. When listen to his specials, listen to all his specials. He let the white folks know what's up just as much as he let the black folks know what's up. But the thing of it is, it's not even dealing with race all of a sudden. Matter of fact, it's not even dealing with race anymore. It's dealing with people choosing to be who they are, and nobody should be taking that away from them. But the problem is, this ain't anybody from the letter people should not even dare compare their choice of what type of gender they want to be to a person who was born black, who was born white, who was born Hispanic. That's the issue right there. They can't really compare their situation with anybody's situation that was born with it. So that argument of I was born gay, I was born this, I was born a woman, but for some reason I'm a boy. No. We can exclude that out right now because as far as I'm concerned, that's the oldest trick in the book now. It's the oldest trick in the book. Nobody cares like that anymore. It's now in a level where if you say something wrong, or if it sounds wrong, and that's what they're trying to do with Dave Chappelle. But unfortunately, the thread that they're trying to cut the thread of Dave Chappelle, they trying to cut that off, but they can't do it. Not even a sharpest knife. But yet, that is a great example of how Christians should be like when it comes to every attack that is coming their way. Because as Christians, we got to deal with it, not just the letter people, but we got to deal with people who want to make a big deal out of our Savior's race, his skin tone. We got to deal with people who deal trying to get at our Savior's existence. We should be, as believers, to be able to stand up and say, you can say what you want to say, but as for me, Jesus is Lord. As for me, Jesus is King. Even have a bold enough to say, yes, Jesus is God. Because I know a lot of folks that, even within the body, wanted to go against that statement. But yet will do everything they can to make it seem like everything that came out of Jesus' mouth wasn't even about him being God. Heck, I even put it to you like this. There are some folks that would love to get rid of 1 John chapter 5, verse 7. Go and check it out for yourself. All I'm saying is Dave Chappelle set the example. Dave Chappelle has set the example of how to be bold in what you say and stand by it. Because the world's going to continue to do what they do. And you see how the world's clashing because they trying to take away rights and this, that, and the third and bring in other rights to make it more highlighted stuff. But as Christians, we should look at that and be like, that is a perfect example of how to be bold and to stand by it. Because Dave ain't worrying about being canceled. Why should he? We should not even worry about being canceled. But that's just me. If you feel, again, comment board, like button, dislike button. Feel free to disagree if you want to, but as long as you be respectful. Let's have the conversation. And if you feel like it should be live, then just type "let's talk." It's your boy P-Lot, aka the Brickslinger, and as always, continue to sharpen one another. Support the kingdom. Take care and God bless. Laborers.